Hey everybody, this is Grace. I started my channel Scattered Journey years ago. It was actually, I think, under a different name, and or maybe not. I don't know how many years ago, but lately it's been the past year or two. I don't know how long. It's all been about health because the past few years, I'm serious. All of a sudden, my health went just. What, just so many weird stuff too. And I do have a rare, very rare, extremely rare health condition, and is obviously not very understood by especially the variety of healthcare, even the ones that are supposed to know in that field. I'm not mentioning which ones and all that. I'm not naming it, but they don't understand it either. I understand what the NIH says about it. That's what I believe. It's what the NIH, National Institutes of Health, and the gold standard. That's what I believe. And I'm trained in research and trained in reading research, so I know what I'm reading. But anyways, I'm kind of tired of it being so much about this, but lately I've had one. They finally put me on medication. I finally got on medication earlier this year. It's been a couple months ago, I guess. I finally got on medication. It was such a trouble getting it, the medication, from the doctor's office to get to the correct pharmacy, because it's a specialty drug. It was over a month and a week, and I was so frustrated and I was so upset. Hopefully, finally, am I ever going to get this medication? The medication is really expensive, but luckily I have really good insurance, health insurance through Affordable Care Act. Yeah, really good insurance in Texas. Imagine that, really good insurance. Affordable Care Act through the marketplace. Oh, you're used to hearing the opposite, right? Really good insurance. So, and I pay nothing. Absolutely nothing for it. No, well, actually now it's $100 and something a month. 150, something like that. I don't know. When everything changed this year. But really good insurance. I don't pay anything for my prescriptions, but this one, my copay, that's what they called it, a copay, would have been $500 a month. But there were those little cards, they called them coupons, that they got offline, and they covered the rest. And but that would have been my part of it. Can you imagine? My other medications I don't pay anything for. Zero. Big fat zero. Each one. I'm on plenty. But anyway, I finally got the medication, started taking it. It took it 38 days, and then I told my doctor that, I think the way I told him was that I started gaining weight. And the weight, I knew that it says that the condition would get worse before it got better while taking the medication at first. Well, I kept reading, and the weight gain was not one that was supposed to happen. But somewhere I read it said it was, but the thing about it is the weight was, instead of getting, losing weight, I was gaining weight, and by the end of it, I was gaining a lot. It was water retention, of course, fluid retention. And I'm not an expert, by the way, on anything that has to do with this. This is what I was told. And what works for me doesn't always work for other people. And what works for other people doesn't always work for me. Seriously, in a lot of ways. I had this since I was a child. And anyway, so that was day 38. 38 pills, one each day, one pill per day, so 38 days in. And the doctor said take it every third day instead. 39th, day was, and when I took that, and that was it. Because after that, I gained the next couple of days, I gained 2 pounds each day. I sent my doctor a note through the portal. He had already said that maybe we should hold off on it, and I sent him a message through the portal saying, I don't want to take this anymore. I'm gaining weight at 2 pounds per day now. So I did not take the 40th pill, and I haven't taken any since then. And I started losing weight about average a pound a day. So at this point, it's 21 pounds off. And, so it was more than 21 days, I think, because a couple of days it just didn't do anything. But there was also at some point at the beginning of this, my feet, the top parts of my feet, when I gained all that weight, the top part of my feet, and I had edema came back because it was water retention and fluid retention, and top part of my feet turned red. I've had that happen before. I showed a different doctor, and that different doctor said it was because of the weight. And I was miserable with the weight. I was miserable. Oh my goodness. I've said this in other videos. Just trying to stand up, getting off the bed, and trying to stand up. I couldn't stand all the way up because it would make my body bend over because the weight was so heavy. I'm 62. I'll be 63 in a couple of weeks. And I'm carrying around a bodysuit because of the weight I had gained in the first place, going back to 2023, the sudden weight gain between the two of them, it was at about 70 pounds. 70 pounds. Okay, that's a lot. I'm a tall woman in a big frame. My dad was 6'7", built like a linebacker, so I kind of got it. Honestly, all of me and I have 3 sisters and a brother. We're all rather, none of us are short. Our mother was short. She was like 5. She said 5'5", but I'm thinking she was a little less, more like 5'1". My dad was 6'7", imagine it. And yeah. But I got it honestly, like the rest of my siblings. But still, that was a lot of weight to carry around. Imagine having that heavy of a bodysuit. They call them something else, but I don't use that word. A bodysuit that heavy at 62 years old. And, and on top of it all, I had pneumonia. I got pneumonia because the city worked on the sidewalks, and then, I got over that about 10 days or so, give or take. But then they came back and did some on a road, on a alley across the way. Our side doesn't have alleys, but it was close enough for the sand to get all in the air and the concrete and everything. So came back, I went to the ER, and they said suspicion of pneumonia, and because of that, took me over a month to get over it. And I'm still having little problems. Like tomorrow, the pollen comes back, real bad, grass pollen. I think it said grass pollen. Okay, but so I'm gonna have a time. I know, and we had rain yesterday or the day before, last night. Anytime it does that, I have trouble, And anyway, it just goes on. And then the latest thing is today. It's a holiday weekend, 3-day weekend, Memorial Day, but I had to get in touch with my doctor's office because this redness that started a little over 3 weeks ago, I guess, I don't know, I didn't write it down. I need to start writing stuff down like that. I write so much else down, it's unbelievable for these doctors and all this, but the feet and everything, it got to where I couldn't stand up. I couldn't stand. I couldn't walk around much. I could, but it would hurt because of the top of the feet where it's red got dry, very, very dry. I'm talking like I told the doctor, it feels like old leather. Okay, and then there's no more edema. Because he put me on it. He asked me to try to take this pill. It's one I had already tried one day. I said no to. But I didn't have any problem with it except when it started just basically sucking my feet dry. I'm serious. Feet, ankle, legs, and it had little bumps on it that were underneath the skin. It wasn't an outward rash, it was inward, some little bumps, and just one thing after another. But that dryness, it made me think, how white people, I'm white, say their skin is dry and flaky. What other words? Dry, flaky, scaly, when it gets like that. But African American people I've known over years, they call it ashy. So, you know what I'm talking about. And I don't have that any health condition where that would be the case, other than this freaking diuretics. They have me on 4 diuretics right now. 4 per day. Okay, different kinds. One of them is a blood pressure medication that has a diuretic in it. I take that twice a day. Another one is the basic Lasix, generic, but Lasix. And then the other one is one that is the latest one. I've been on for about 3 weeks. And I think that's the one that was just sucking it dry. Oh my gosh. And like I said, my top of my feet, red, hurt. And I would even do things, I can't use topical, anything topical. I can't use, any kind of lotion. I tried that at first. It seemed like it made it worse. And I knew this. Anything with alcohol-based, like hand sanitizers, would just break me out bad. And I can't use the hand sanitizers. I can't use, any kind of lotion. Even things like Neosporin. Is it Neosporin? Yeah. And like local, whatever it is the antibiotics, cream, antibiotics. Nope, can't use any of that stuff. Over the years, I learned can't use any of it. Oh man, have bad reactions. I have lots of chemical allergies, but I think mainly the thing I always forget until I really think it through is it's alcohol. The alcohol. I can't use rubbing alcohol for anything. And like I said, the hand sanitizers, whoosh, bad. But it could be a mixture of different things that I can't use also. Anyway, I mean, all of this stuff, and I'm tired of it. I'm really tired of it. Well, okay, just one thing after another. And a big part of some of this does seem like it's because of doctors. They want to medicate. They want to change this. They want to make me a guinea pig. Some other people call it lab rat. And I'm tired. The rare health condition, I was happy. I wanted to get on that medication so bad. But I had to stop taking it. Because it was causing problems with my health. And all that weight gain. Oh my gosh. Luckily, 21 pounds has come off. It was probably around 25 pounds that it put on. But it's kind of hard to say because I had already had that weight from 2023. And that would go up and down a little bit. And seriously, this has been too much. Then in September, I had all of September at the end of October, the end of August, and a little at the beginning of October, but all of September I was ill. Okay. Never found out why. I had a telemed visit. That was it, and really don't know. Couldn't go because it was stomach, it was diarrhea and everything, and I couldn't trust my body to go to have a test done. So it was pretty bad. And I remember all I was eating was the worst things for me. All I ate quite often what I was eating was cake, which I never used to eat cake. And I would only eat a little bit because I couldn't stomach anything, literally. Could not. I felt like my intestines were going to be damaged. I was so out of it so bad. It was so bad. I told the nurse that I did the telemed with, I told her that. I said, anything harder was going to hurt my intestines. That and ramen noodles, which is really bad for someone who borderlines on anemia. On borderline anemic, that's not what they call it. They call it something else. But and I'd have to force myself to eat protein and this and that and the other. I'm not an expert on any of those things, so don't take what I say as though that's what I'm supposed to do. Nope. I have a rare health condition. What works for me, like I said earlier, this doesn't always work for other people, and it actually causes them problems. So no, don't do that. You never do that. Never, never. I would never tell anybody to do that. I don't give anybody any advice or anything. But anyway, I'm tired. I made my channels for, to talk about others, a lot of stuff. Not just this focus, but that's what my life has been for the past few, 3 years or so? Well, I'm going to be 63 soon. And it was really starting around when I was 59, I think. And I had a call a couple days ago, this number to help me fill out an application. The woman who answered, I told her I had been really ill, but I needed to get this form done, and I needed help to understand some things. It was mainly one thing. They put the acronym for things, but they don't explain what the acronym means. I don't work for them. I don't know what it means. There are 3 of them. You get to choose between the 3. Well, what do the 3 mean? So, but she also helped me with something else I had marked wrong on the, it's not an application, it's a form. I'm not applying for a job or anything like that. No, it's a form I need to fill out. I don't tell everybody my business, but and what's going on, but not everything. But some of the thing is, that's it. I want to be able to talk about any other stuff. Anyway, she said that she's 61, and she said she just can't believe that she's 61, and she works from home now and all this stuff. And she was going on and on. I said, I can relate. I understand. I do understand. It's like it's so totally surreal. It's that I'm in my 60s, man. Wow, what happened? You don't feel like old, but then the health problems. Oh my. She could relate to that too. That not my health problems, but that the health changes. And the good thing is at this age we are much more wiser. I would say many people, if not most, at this age they've gained some wisdom. But who's listening? Anyway, on that note.